To see someone's true character, notice only 5 things. How to read people. Notice these 5 things. In a world where everyone wears a mask, whether it's kindness, politeness, or perfection, it's easy to get lost in the stories people tell about themselves. Words can be deceiving, but actions, they never lie. If you've ever wondered how to read people and uncover the truth beneath the surface, this is your moment. Today, on Stoic in Your Life, we'll uncover 5 powerful ways to see someone's true character. These aren't just observations. They're rooted in modern Stoicism and reveal Stoic secrets that have stood the test of time. By learning to notice these 5 things, you'll not only become a better judge of character, but also sharpen your own self-awareness. So, let's dive in and discover how to truly see beyond the facade. Number 1. How they behave when angry. Anger is a powerful force, one that strips away the masks people wear and lays bare their true character. It is easy for someone to appear kind, calm, and respectful when life is going smoothly, but the way they behave when provoked, frustrated, or deeply angered speaks volumes about their inner nature. Anger doesn't create a new version of a person. It simply reveals what has always existed beneath the surface, often hidden during moments of peace and ease. In those heated moments, you catch a glimpse of their values, emotional maturity, and level of self-awareness. How someone navigates their anger is one of the clearest indicators of who they truly are. A person who genuinely values others and holds respect as a core principle will often show restraint, even when their emotions are running high. Their words may carry firmness or passion, but they won't dip into cruelty, insults, or manipulation. Their frustration may be evident, but it will not erode their sense of decency or the dignity of those they are interacting with. On the other hand, someone who lashes out in anger, belittling others, or seeking to manipulate situations for their advantage reveals a lack of respect for relationships and an absence of emotional discipline. This behavior demonstrates that, in moments of crisis or tension, their priority is not understanding or resolution, it is power, dominance, or the release of their own frustrations, often at the expense of others. But anger is not just about the explosion in the moment. What comes afterward also speaks volumes about someone's character. When the dust settles, do they take responsibility for their words and actions? Do they apologize sincerely and seek to make amends, acknowledging the harm they may have caused? Or do they sweep the issue under the rug, pretending it never happened, leaving unspoken hurt and resentment in their wake? A person who owns their mistakes and works toward reconciliation demonstrates maturity and emotional intelligence, while someone who evades accountability reveals a deeper flaw, a lack of regard for the emotional well-being of others. This distinction is critical, as it shows us who is truly willing to grow and nurture healthy relationships versus those who are not. Marcus Aurelius, a great Stoic philosopher, wisely observed, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" His words remind us that unchecked anger can cause far more damage than the initial trigger ever could. In our fast-paced and often stressful modern lives, anger is a frequent visitor. But modern Stoicism offers us tools to understand it better. It encourages us to see anger not as an uncontrollable force, but as an opportunity to learn about ourselves and those around us. When you encounter someone in a moment of rage, pay attention not just to their words, but also to their actions, the tone they use, and their approach to conflict resolution afterward. These elements are windows into their character and can help you decide how much trust or energy you should invest in them. Anger is inevitable in human relationships, but it doesn't have to be destructive. In fact, it can be revealing and even transformative. Consider how you handle your own anger as well. Do you take the time to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully? Or do you react impulsively, allowing your emotions to dictate your behavior? Practicing restraint and self-awareness in moments of anger is not a sign of weakness. It is a profound strength. Seneca, another revered Stoic, once said, The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Taking a moment to step back can prevent unnecessary harm, both to yourself and to those around you. Anger acts as a mirror, reflecting not just the character of the person who is angry, but also offering you insights into your own values and boundaries. The way someone handles anger reveals their priorities, their respect or lack of it for others, and their ability to engage in constructive dialogue, even when emotions are running high. Modern Stoicism invites us to observe these moments closely, not just to judge others but to learn about the dynamics of human nature and relationships. When someone is angry, watch carefully. Their words, actions, and aftermath will tell you who they are at their core. And as you navigate these moments in your own life, remember that how you choose to handle anger is a reflection of your character as well. In anger, as in all things, there is an opportunity to grow, learn, and choose a path of respect and resilience. Number 2. How they speak about others. Have you ever noticed how people reveal their true nature, not by how they speak to you, but by how they speak about others? There's a profound truth in this that is easy to miss, but once you begin paying attention, it can change the way you understand those around you. Think about it. When someone speaks kindly about others, especially when those people aren't there to hear it, they're revealing a heart rooted in compassion, empathy, and respect. Such people aren't driven by the need to tear others down, to lift themselves up. Instead, they build others up, spreading positivity like seeds that can grow into trust and admiration. But when you encounter someone who constantly gossips or criticizes, it tells a different story. That negativity often comes from a place of insecurity or envy, and though they may think they're hiding it, they're actually revealing something deeper about themselves, a lack of integrity, a smallness of spirit. Let me illustrate this with a story I once heard. There was a woman named Sarah who joined a new team at work. She was warm and engaging, and everyone seemed to like her, except one of her colleagues, Jake. Jake would often make subtle, cutting remarks about Sarah when she wasn't around. At first, people didn't think much of it, chalking it up to harmless office banter. But over time, it became clear that Jake's words weren't just jokes. They were part of a pattern. Whenever someone new joined the team, Jake would find ways to belittle them in private conversations. On the surface, Jake appeared confident and self-assured, but his words revealed his insecurity and jealousy. Contrast that with another colleague, Amanda, who went out of her way to highlight Sarah's strengths, even in conversations where Sarah wasn't present. Amanda's words reflected her generosity of spirit and her confidence in herself. She didn't feel the need to compete by cutting others down. Eventually, people gravitated toward Amanda, while Jake's negativity isolated him. Isn't it interesting how the way we talk about others can build bridges or burn them? Now, take a moment to think about the people in your own life. How do they speak about others when they think no one is watching or listening? Do they uplift others, or do they use gossip and criticism as weapons? And more importantly, what does that tell you about them and about yourself? As Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, reminds us, when you are offended at someone's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. This is one of the great Stoic secrets, to use what you observe in others as a mirror for your own growth. Are you the type of person who speaks with kindness and respect, even when there's no one to impress? Or do you find yourself falling into the trap of negativity? It's a humbling but powerful exercise to ask yourself these questions. The way someone speaks about others is one of the most revealing indicators of their character. Positive words reflect honesty, empathy, and trustworthiness, while negative ones often expose selfishness, envy, and a lack of respect. But here's the key lesson. This isn't just about judging others. It's about holding ourselves accountable to the same standard. How we speak about others not only defines how others perceive us, but also shapes the kind of person we become. Words are not just sounds, they're reflections of what's inside us. If you want to see someone's true character, pay attention to how they speak about others. And if you want to build your own character, start by choosing your words wisely. So, the next time you hear someone speaking about another person, pause and listen carefully. What are they really saying? Not about the person they're talking about, but about themselves. And when it's your turn to speak, ask yourself, am I using my words to uplift or to tear down? Life is too short to waste on negativity. Be the person who brings light into a room even when no one is watching. This is how you not only recognize someone's true character, but also strengthen your own. That, my friend, is one of the most transformative Stoic secrets you can practice in everyday life. After all, our words are not just reflections of who we are, they're also a choice we make about the person we want to become. Which choice will you make today? Number 3. How they handle secrets. When it comes to understanding someone's true character, one of the clearest windows is how they handle secrets. Think about it. When someone entrusts you with something private, they're handing you a piece of their vulnerability, a fragment of themselves that they trust you to protect. It's an unspoken agreement, a sacred bond. A person with integrity will honor that trust unwaveringly, keeping the secret safe regardless of the circumstances. They won't use it as currency to buy social status, gossip about it to entertain others, or wield it as a tool to manipulate. Instead, they recognize that guarding a secret is about more than just discretion. It's about respect for the person who entrusted them. As Seneca once said, if you wish to keep a secret, first, learn to keep it from yourself. Integrity begins in these quiet, unseen choices, doesn't it? But when someone betrays a secret, it reveals more than just a lapse in judgment. It's a crack in the foundation of their character. Why would someone do that? Maybe they're seeking attention, hoping to feel important in the eyes of others. Maybe they want to leverage that private information for their own gain, climbing some imaginary social ladder. Yet when they do, they dismantle trust, the very fabric of meaningful relationships. And here's the painful truth. Trust, once broken, is incredibly hard to rebuild. Think about a time when someone betrayed your confidence. How did it make you feel? Didn't it sting in a way that words alone can't describe? That's because breaking a secret isn't just about the act. It's about the ripple effect it causes, the emotional wound it leaves behind. People who casually divulge what's meant to be kept private often reveal something deeper about themselves. Selfishness and emotional immaturity. They prioritize their own fleeting desires over the trust of others. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If someone's inner world is focused on self-promotion or manipulation, their outward actions will inevitably reflect that. And you can see it clearly in how they handle the delicate matter of secrets. Would you entrust your vulnerabilities to someone who treats others' private matters as their own personal storybook to share? I wouldn't, and neither should you. On the flip side, consider the kind of person who guards secrets fiercely, even when no one would know if they broke that trust. This is the mark of true character: loyalty, honesty, and a deep respect for the relationships they nurture. They understand that trust is a gift, not a weapon. They honor the dignity of the person who confided in them. It's not about grand gestures or public displays. It's about the quiet, consistent choice to do the right thing when no one is watching. Isn't that the essence of modern Stoicism? To align your actions with your values, even in the smallest and most private of moments? After all, Epictetus reminds us, character is long-standing habit. The habits we cultivate when it comes to handling others' vulnerabilities reveal whether we are building ourselves into trustworthy, virtuous individuals or not. So, I ask you, how do you measure the worth of someone's character? Is it in their words or in their actions when they think no one is paying attention? Do you notice how they respond when trusted with something as fragile as a secret? These moments, small as they may seem, carry the weight of something much larger, the essence of who they are. And perhaps, in reflecting on this, we should also ask ourselves, are we the kind of people who honor the trust placed in us? How do we handle secrets? Because in the end, the way we treat the vulnerabilities of others is a direct reflection of our own moral compass. Modern Stoicism teaches us to live deliberately, to examine our actions and their alignment with virtue. So I encourage you to look closely, not just at others, but also at yourself. What do your actions say about your character? Are you someone who protects the sacred trust of others, even when it's inconvenient or difficult? True strength lies not in words, but in actions, in being the person others can rely on when it matters most. As you go through life, remember this: the way we handle secrets says more about us than it ever does about the secret itself. And when you encounter someone who honors those quiet, unseen moments with loyalty and respect, you'll know you've found someone of true character, someone worth trusting, and perhaps someone worth emulating. You've made it this far because you're committed to understanding the deeper truths of human character and applying them to your own growth. So let's reflect together. What do you think the way someone handles secrets says about their character? Share your thoughts in the comments with the phrase, "Trust reveals true strength," to show that you're embracing this wisdom. I'd love to hear your perspective, and it's a great way to connect with others on this journey. Stay tuned. There are even more profound Stoic secrets ahead to guide you toward living with integrity and purpose. Number 4. How they treat people who are different. The way someone treats people who differ from them speaks volumes about their true character. In a world that thrives on diversity, a person with a kind and open heart sees value in everyone, regardless of their background, religion, ethnicity, or any other defining factor. They do not rush to judge, but instead appreciate the unique qualities that make each individual distinct. These people approach life with an inclusiveness that reflects their inner strength and emotional maturity. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What injures the hive, injures the bee." This Stoic truth reminds us that humanity flourishes only when we treat one another with kindness and unity, acknowledging our interconnectedness. Conversely, someone who looks down on or dismisses those who are different reveals the insecurity hidden beneath their facade. They may criticize, avoid, or even mock others, thinking that elevating themselves above others somehow enhances their worth. But as Epictetus wisely observed, what is bad for the hive cannot be good for the bee. When people mistreat those who differ from them, they expose a narrow mind, one shackled by judgment and devoid of empathy. Their need to belittle others often stems from their own inner conflicts, a futile attempt to mask their inadequacies. This behavior is a subtle cry of weakness disguised as superiority. The way you treat others, especially those who don't share your values or experiences, is one of the truest reflections of your inner self. Modern life constantly presents us with opportunities to encounter people from varied walks of life. Whether it's the colleague at work who holds different political beliefs, the neighbor with a different cultural background, or even a stranger whose lifestyle may seem unfamiliar to you, the key to connection is understanding and empathy. It is easy to dismiss what you don't understand, but doing so only diminishes your own growth. Seneca once said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." Your response to these opportunities shapes who you are and how others experience you. In our fast-paced and polarized world, the ability to show kindness and respect to those who are different is a rare but powerful quality. Imagine being in a conversation where someone disagrees with your views. Instead of becoming defensive, what if you listened with an open mind and sought to understand their perspective? This doesn't mean you have to change your beliefs, but it shows strength in your character when you engage with others with patience and respect. People with strong moral foundations see disagreement not as a threat, but as an opportunity to learn and grow. This is the essence of living a life guided by Stoic secrets, acknowledging differences while staying true to principles of kindness and understanding. A person's character shines brightest in how they treat those who can offer them nothing in return or who challenge their worldview. It is in these moments that the strength of empathy, patience, and wisdom becomes clear. If you look closely at how someone interacts with individuals outside their comfort zone, those with different beliefs, backgrounds, or experiences, you'll see their true self. For as the Stoics believed, our shared humanity binds us more than our differences divide us. Treating others with kindness, no matter their background, is not only a reflection of your character but also a testament to your resilience and strength. To live by Stoic secrets is to rise above judgment, embrace humanity, and create a ripple of goodwill in the world. Remember, the way you treat others reveals not just who they are, but more importantly, who you are. Number 5. How they handle success. Success often reveals the depths of someone's true character. It's a pivotal moment, not just because of the achievement itself, but because it strips away pretenses and shows who someone really is when the spotlight is on them. A person of true virtue, when they reach success, remains grounded. They continue to treat others with respect, acknowledging the collective effort it took to climb the mountain. They don't just remember those who helped them, but actively show gratitude, offering kindness and dignity to all, even to those who no longer serve their immediate interests. Their humility isn't performative. It stems from an inner strength and a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of life. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Receive wealth or prosperity without arrogance and be ready to let it go." It's this sense of groundedness, this awareness of impermanence, that allows the wise to handle success gracefully, seeing it not as the pinnacle of their being, but as a moment to reflect on their shared humanity. On the other hand, success has a way of inflating egos in those who lack self-awareness. Some people, once they've achieved their goals, forget the hands that lifted them. They grow dismissive of others, believing they're entirely self-made, and let arrogance take the place of gratitude. This mindset not only erodes their relationships, but also exposes their priorities: power and self-interest over genuine connection. A person who dismisses their support system and claims sole credit for their achievements reveals a shallow character, one that sees others as tools rather than as equals. Success is a magnifying glass. It amplifies what's already there. If someone's values are rooted in pride and self-centeredness, it will become glaringly obvious when they achieve their goals. Modern Stoicism teaches us that true success isn't about the trophies we collect or the titles we earn. It's about how we treat others when we've reached the summit. In today's fast-paced world, where personal achievements often take center stage, it's easy to lose sight of what really matters: the relationships we build and the respect we show. As Epictetus wisely said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Success, therefore, isn't just about what you gain externally, but about what you cultivate internally: humility, respect, and gratitude. How you handle success reflects whether you understand this deeper truth or if you've been blinded by the glitter of external validation. So when you observe someone who has achieved success, pay attention to how they behave. Do they remain kind, grounded, and aware of their place in the greater web of life? Or do they isolate themselves, reveling in their accomplishments while dismissing those around them? If you aspire to live by the principles of modern Stoicism, let success be a test of your character. Stay humble, acknowledge the collective effort behind your achievements, and always seek to uplift those around you. True success isn't just about reaching the top, it's about ensuring the climb was worthwhile for everyone involved. In doing so, you not only inspire others but also find a deeper, more lasting sense of fulfillment. 5 ways to see through a person's nature aren't just simple observations. They offer deep insight into a person's true character. By paying attention to how someone reacts when angry, speaks about others, handles secrets, treats people who are different, and manages success, you can paint a clear and honest picture of who they truly are. These aspects form the foundation of understanding a person better. However, to truly understand a person's character, you need to go beyond surface-level observations. Let's dive deeper into other essential aspects. Exploring how someone deals with failure, adapts to change, and handles challenging situations. Additional insights on understanding a person's true character. We often stop at the obvious, but neglecting the deeper layers of someone's character means missing out on truly understanding them. This section uncovers crucial elements you may never have considered. Read through to the end so you don't miss a thing. Number 1. How they deal with failure. Failure is one of life's great equalizers. It comes for everyone, no matter how much skill, preparation, or effort we put in. What sets people apart is how they choose to respond when faced with it. To truly understand someone's character, watch how they deal with failure. Do they crumble under its weight or rise to the challenge with grace? Those who show resilience don't let failure define their worth. Instead, they see it as a lesson, a rough but necessary teacher. Imagine this. A young entrepreneur loses a major client, the kind of setback that could sink a small business. But instead of drowning in regret or pointing fingers, they take a moment to breathe, reflect, and ask themselves, what can I learn from this? They analyze the situation, identify what went wrong, and adapt their approach moving forward. They don't let the failure affect their sense of self. They see it as a temporary stumble, not a permanent label. That kind of resilience, that ability to view failure as a stepping stone instead of a roadblock, speaks volumes about their emotional maturity and strength of character. On the other hand, there are those who struggle to accept failure. Maybe they lash out in frustration, blaming circumstances or others around them. Or they retreat into themselves, giving up entirely and letting self-doubt take over. This inability to face failure reveals a lack of emotional intelligence, a refusal to see setbacks as part of life's process. And here's the thing. How you or anyone else deals with failure doesn't just show resilience. It reveals deeper traits like adaptability, humility, and a willingness to grow. Think about your own life for a moment. Have there been times when failure pushed you to grow? Or on the flip side, did it hold you back because you let it define you? These moments shape your character more than any success ever will. A modern example that comes to mind is professional athletes. When they lose a championship game or face a career-threatening injury, they're forced to confront failure head-on. The ones who bounce back, who analyze their performance, train harder, and stay mentally strong, are often the ones who achieve greatness later. Their setbacks become part of their story, not the end of it. The same applies to all of us in our everyday lives. Whether it's a failed project at work, a personal mistake in a relationship, or even a missed opportunity, how we handle it determines who we are becoming. You see, life doesn't hand out success without testing your resolve first, and this is where Stoic secrets come into play. The Stoics believe that failure is neither inherently good nor bad, it's simply an event, and it's up to you to interpret and respond to it. Epictetus taught that the things outside your control shouldn't shake your peace of mind. The only thing you truly control is how you choose to respond. If you treat failure as a chance to strengthen your inner fortitude, it ceases to feel like failure at all. It becomes a tool for self-improvement, a refining fire that strengthens your character. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you failed and how did you react? Did you take it as a personal attack on your worth or did you extract a lesson from it? The way you answer that question reveals a lot about your mindset. The truth is, failure is a mirror. It reflects not only what you value, but also how you deal with pressure, disappointment, and setbacks. Do you see it as a chance to grow stronger, or do you let it shrink you? And the good news is, even if you've struggled to handle failure gracefully in the past, you can always choose to approach it differently moving forward. So here's the takeaway. Failure is not the enemy. It's a test, an invitation to grow. People who handle it with poise and courage show emotional intelligence, humility, and perseverance. They understand that failure is a natural part of the path to success. When you face your own failures, remember this. They are not there to stop you, but to shape you. As the Stoics teach us, it's not what happens to you that matters, but how you respond. By embracing this mindset, you unlock the strength to face any challenge that comes your way. And who knows, your next failure might just be the key to your greatest success. Number 2, how they treat those who have helped them. Let me ask you something. How do you treat the people who have helped you when the chips were down, when you had nothing to give in return? Think about that for a moment, because it's one of the clearest windows into your own character and into the character of others. The way someone treats those who supported them during their struggles tells you more about who they truly are than almost anything else. A person of strong values, of true integrity, will never forget those who lent a hand when times were hard. They don't just move on as if the help they received was owed to them. They acknowledge it, they express genuine gratitude, and they make sure that gratitude is reflected not only in their words, but in their actions. Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." This sense of gratitude can extend to how we regard others who have played a part in our lives. Do you take time to show that gratitude? Do you let others know what their kindness has meant to you? Or do you, like some, assume that support is just part of what others are obligated to give? Let me give you an example. Imagine a successful entrepreneur standing before an audience, sharing the story of their rise. Instead of basking in self-congratulation, they take a moment to thank their employees, their partners, and even the mentors who helped them along the way. They don't pretend they succeeded alone. Instead, they demonstrate humility and respect, openly acknowledging that their achievements were built on the collective effort of others. Now think of the opposite. Someone who gets to the top and doesn't so much as glance at those who helped them climb. They take for granted the hours, the patience, the sacrifices others have made for them, treating kindness as a debt already paid rather than a gift freely given. Which of these two people would you trust? Which one would you call a friend? Which one would you want to work with, or even just have a conversation with? Seneca wrote, "He who receives a benefit with gratitude repays the first installment on his debt." Gratitude is a marker of strength, not weakness. It shows that you're wise enough to recognize you didn't achieve everything alone and mature enough to honor those who gave you their time, energy, or care. But here's the thing. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. Words are cheap unless they're backed by actions. A person who truly values others will demonstrate it by how they treat them every day, in the small, consistent ways that matter most. By listening, by giving back when they can, by being there when others need them. Modern Stoicism teaches us that our actions, not our intentions, not our feelings, are what define us. So ask yourself, what do your actions say about you? And here's where it gets interesting. It's not just about recognizing gratitude in yourself. Pay attention to how others act in this area as well. Watch how people treat those who supported them when they had nothing. Do they keep those relationships alive, or do they discard them the moment they no longer find them useful? Are they kind and generous, or do they drain others dry and then walk away? The Stoics believe that character is revealed in our interactions with others. Epictetus put it plainly, "What will my profession, principles, or character teach me? It will teach me to be grateful." So when you're trying to understand someone's true nature, This is one of the first things to notice. True character isn't shown when someone is being celebrated or when everything in life is smooth. It's shown in how they act in those moments when gratitude should flow naturally toward the people who helped them survive their struggles, the people who believed in them when no one else did. This is where the principles of modern Stoicism align with ancient wisdom. It's in the small everyday choices we make about how we treat others that our values are laid bare. So now I'll ask you again, how do you treat the people who have helped you along the way? And what do the actions of the people around you tell you about who they really are? Because in these moments, you don't just see someone's true character, you see what they value most in life. You've just taken a meaningful step toward mastering the art of understanding true character and embodying gratitude. Let's hear your perspective. Leave a comment below with the words, "Gratitude defines true character," to let us know how you're applying these insights in your own life. Remember, every small action you take to honor those who've helped you is a reflection of your strength and integrity. Keep following Stoic in your life. Your transformation is unfolding one choice at a time. Number 3, how they show empathy. When it comes to uncovering someone's true character, one of the most revealing aspects is how they treat people who are different from themselves. Whether it's differences in background, beliefs, or lifestyles, the way someone interacts with those who aren't like them exposes the depth or lack of their emotional maturity and moral compass. A person with a kind and open heart sees humanity as a collective whole, where every individual is unique but equally valuable. They embrace differences as an opportunity to learn, grow, and connect, rather than as a threat to their identity or values. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This strength manifests in the ability to respect others without letting fear, insecurity, or prejudice cloud your judgment. On the other hand, when someone treats others poorly because they are different, whether through mockery, avoidance, or outright hostility, it reveals a deeper insecurity. Such behavior often stems from fear of the unknown, fear of losing one's own sense of superiority, or fear of questioning deeply held beliefs. These actions may temporarily make them feel powerful, but they only highlight a lack of empathy and personal growth. As Epictetus reminds us, "What concerns me is not the way things are, but the way people think things are." A judgmental person views the world through a narrow lens, one distorted by their own insecurities, and their inability to connect with others shows their weakness, not their strength. This principle applies powerfully to modern life, where our interconnected world constantly exposes us to people of different cultures, opinions, and experiences. Whether it's in the workplace, in your community, or online, the diversity we encounter is a mirror reflecting our own capacity for respect and understanding. When you meet someone who speaks kindly to everyone regardless of their status, treats others with respect even when they disagree, or listens without dismissing those with differing opinions, you are witnessing true strength. It's not weakness to empathize with someone you don't understand. In fact, it requires tremendous inner stability and self-awareness. As Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." These moments of kindness are where real character is revealed, and the ability to treat others with fairness and dignity demonstrates not only emotional maturity, but also the wisdom to value humanity over ego. Conversely, those who ridicule or exclude others often do so to elevate themselves in some way. But think about this. What does it truly cost them to show respect? Nothing. And yet they withhold it, as though it's a limited resource, revealing their inability to see beyond their own insecurities. Imagine someone mocking a colleague's accent or ignoring someone because of their beliefs. This behavior may seem trivial, but it points to a much larger problem. A lack of kindness toward others, often reflects a lack of kindness toward oneself. If you pay attention, you'll notice this pattern. People who are secure in who they are tend to lift others up, while those who feel small inside attempt to shrink the world around them. This is why it's so important to observe these moments. They reveal the Stoic secrets of someone's inner world. In your own interactions, remember this. How you treat others is a reflection of your character, not theirs. When you choose kindness even in the face of rudeness or hostility, you show strength, not weakness. You demonstrate that your actions are dictated by your values, not by someone else's behavior. This practice isn't always easy. It requires patience, humility, and self-control, virtues that Stoicism prizes. But it's also one of the greatest opportunities for growth. If you encounter someone who lacks these virtues, someone who belittles others for their differences, don't allow their negativity to change who you are. Instead, let it serve as a reminder of the type of person you strive to be. Understanding and kindness are not just signs of good character, they are also transformative forces. When you treat others with respect, you create a ripple effect that encourages others to do the same. As you navigate life, pay attention to how people behave in these situations. It's in these small but telling moments that true character is revealed. By doing so, you'll not only understand others more clearly, but also hold yourself to a higher standard, embodying the Stoic secrets of strength, wisdom, and compassion in your own life. Number 4. How they handle change. Change is one of life's few constants, and how you or someone else handles it speaks volumes about character. There are those who see change as a doorway to growth, approaching it with curiosity and an open mind. These are the individuals who adapt to life's twists and turns with grace, flexibility, and resilience. They understand that holding on to the past, whether it's outdated methods at work or old habits in personal life, often stifles progress. Take, for example, a manager who shifts their team's strategy to align with emerging market trends. Such a leader demonstrates not just forward thinking, but a willingness to innovate for the greater good. They don't cling to how things have always been done, but instead embrace the opportunity to learn and improve. These people thrive because they see change as a teacher, bringing lessons and opportunities rather than threats. As Marcus Aurelius once said, observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom yourself to consider that the nature of the universe delights in change. On the other hand, some people resist change, clinging tightly to the familiar out of fear or discomfort. They may become anxious, irritable, or avoidant when faced with uncertainty, holding on to old routines and habits even when they no longer serve them. This resistance often comes from a fear of the unknown, a need for control, or a lack of confidence in their ability to adapt. While it's natural to feel uneasy when life shifts unexpectedly, a refusal to embrace change can signal emotional rigidity or a lack of resilience. These individuals may miss out on opportunities for growth, locking themselves into a comfort zone that gradually becomes a cage. In this, they reveal not just their fear of change but an unwillingness to evolve, limiting their own potential and hindering progress in their personal or professional lives. Modern Stoicism offers us a powerful framework to navigate change with courage and adaptability. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, attitudes, and responses, and to let go of what we cannot. In a world that's constantly evolving, from technological advances to shifting social dynamics, this mindset is more relevant than ever. When change comes your way, ask yourself, will you resist it out of fear, or will you see it as an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser? True character lies in the latter, in the ability to embrace change, face it head-on, and adapt with optimism and resilience. So the next time you encounter someone dealing with a major change, pay attention to how they respond. Do they approach it with curiosity and a solution-focused mindset? Or do they retreat into frustration and avoidance? Their reaction can tell you a great deal about their emotional maturity and their ability to thrive in life. For yourself, remember that change isn't an enemy. It's an inevitable part of existence. As the Stoics teach us, no man steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man. Growth comes from flowing with the current of life rather than resisting it, and, in doing so, you'll find strength and wisdom you didn't know you had. Embracing change with grace isn't just a sign of strong character. It's the key to evolving in an ever-changing world. Number 5. How they react during relationship breakdowns. Relationships are a cornerstone of life, and how someone reacts when a relationship begins to unravel says more about their true character than almost any other situation. Whether it's a romantic partnership, a friendship, or even a professional relationship, the way someone handles a breakdown reveals their emotional intelligence, integrity, and maturity. Think about it. When emotions are high and pain or disappointment is at its peak, some people show their worst selves, resorting to blame, insults, or manipulative behavior. On the other hand, there are those rare individuals who navigate the storm with grace and dignity. They don't let their hurt push them into attacking the other person or burning bridges. Instead, they communicate openly, respect boundaries, and aim for resolution rather than destruction. For example, imagine someone going through a tough breakup. They're hurt, of course, it's natural, but instead of hurling accusations or dragging the other person's name through the mud, they choose a different path. They sit down and have an honest, respectful conversation, owning their part in the breakdown and expressing their feelings without anger or hostility. They show the kind of emotional intelligence that proves they value the connection they once shared, even if it's time to move on. Contrast this with someone who lashes out during a breakup, calling names, spreading gossip, or engaging in passive-aggressive tactics. What does that tell you? It signals insecurity, a fragile ego, and a lack of control over their emotions. They're not focused on resolving the situation. They're focused on winning or protecting their pride. But here's the thing. These destructive reactions don't just harm the other person. They harm the one lashing out too. The inability to handle emotions constructively delays healing, deepens resentment, and leaves scars that linger long after the relationship ends. It's a path of pain for everyone involved. Now, let me tell you a modern story that illustrates this beautifully. A friend of mine recently went through a major falling out with a business partner. They had built a company together from the ground up, but over time their visions started to clash and tensions rose. Eventually, they decided to part ways. My friend could have taken the messy route, airing grievances publicly, dragging their partner's reputation through the dirt, or refusing to negotiate fairly. But instead, they chose a higher road. They reached out, initiated a calm discussion, and focused on finding a solution that was fair to both sides. They didn't let anger dictate their actions even when emotions were running high. The result? Not only did the separation go smoothly, but they also earned their former partner's respect, and both were able to move forward without bitterness. It was a masterclass in emotional maturity and character. Here's where Stoic secrets come into play. The Stoics taught that our reactions, not external events, determine our peace of mind. You cannot control how others act during a breakdown, but you can control how you respond. Do you hold on to your integrity, or do you let anger and pride steer the ship? The choice is always yours, and it reveals your character more than words ever could. So, how do you handle relationship breakdowns? Do you reflect, learn, and move forward with grace? Or do you let the pain pull you into destructive patterns? These moments of crisis are opportunities to grow, not just as a partner or friend, but as a person. The ones who use these experiences to improve their emotional control and strengthen their character are the ones who rise above the hurt and come out stronger on the other side. Let me leave you with this. The end of a relationship is not the End of your story. It's a chapter, and how you write it is up to you. If you handle it with respect, self-awareness, and dignity, you'll walk away not only with your integrity intact, but also with valuable lessons that will shape your future. True character is revealed when it's hardest to maintain, when emotions threaten to take over and the temptation to lash out feels overwhelming. Remember the Stoic wisdom: control what you can, yourself, and let go of the rest. By doing so, you demonstrate emotional intelligence, protect your peace, and embody the strength that defines true character. Number 6. How they deal with pressure. Let me ask you, how do you handle pressure when life gets tough? Do you rise to the occasion, staying calm and focused on solutions? Or do you feel overwhelmed, struggling to manage your emotions and make decisions? Pressure is one of life's greatest tests, revealing a person's true character. It's something we all face, whether it's tight deadlines, high expectations, or unexpected challenges. In those moments, emotional control and resilience make all the difference. As Epictetus wisely said, "Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself." How someone responds under pressure doesn't just show their problem-solving skills, it shows who they really are. Imagine a doctor in an emergency room, handling a life-or-death situation with calm and focus. Their emotional control and ability to think clearly inspire confidence, showing true mental strength. Compare that to someone who crumbles under stress, becoming erratic, making rash decisions, or withdrawing entirely. Who would you trust in a crisis? Modern Stoicism teaches us to develop the clarity and strength to stay composed, even when chaos surrounds us. Their steady demeanor not only helps themselves, but also reassures those around them. But let's be honest, staying calm under pressure isn't easy. It's something I've struggled with, and I'm sure you have too. The good news is that resilience and emotional control are skills you can develop. One practical Stoic tool is asking, "What's within my control right now?" This simple question shifts your focus to solutions instead of problems. Another helpful practice is premeditatio malorum, or mentally preparing for challenges before they arise. When you anticipate difficulties, you're less likely to be caught off guard. Have you tried planning for obstacles so they don't overwhelm you? If not, I encourage you to give it a shot. It's a game changer. Pressure tests not just our ability to perform, but also our emotional maturity and reliability. Those who handle it well earn respect, not because they don't feel stress, but because they manage it with grace and purpose. It's not about being perfect. Everyone feels the weight of pressure. The difference lies in staying grounded, bending, without breaking, and acting with intention even when everything feels uncertain. So, how do you handle pressure? What does your response reveal about your character? And what can you learn from observing how others react? Pressure is like a mirror. It shows us who we are. The real question is, are you ready to grow from what you see? In the end, it's not the pressure itself that defines you. It's how you respond that shapes your character and the trust others place in you. If you've made it this far, I know you're not just seeking knowledge. You're striving to become the best version of yourself. Leave a comment saying, "I choose to maintain dignity in all circumstances," or share a story about how you've handled a relationship breakdown with maturity and responsibility. This isn't just a conversation. It's a journey we're taking together. A journey of discovering true character and living with intention. Stay with me, because the deepest lessons often come when we're ready to face ourselves. Number 7. How they treat those who can't help them. One of the clearest ways to see someone's true character is by observing how they treat those who can offer them nothing in return. These interactions strip away any pretense, revealing whether someone acts out of genuine kindness or self-interest. When a person treats servers, janitors, or those struggling with warmth and respect, It reflects humility and empathy, rooted in inner strength. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. True goodness is found in small acts of dignity toward others, even when there's no expectation of gain. In contrast, those who treat others poorly when they hold no advantage over them reveal selfishness and insecurity. You've likely witnessed people snapping at cashiers or dismissing someone because they perceive them as beneath them. Such behavior shows a dependence on power or status for self-esteem. As Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." Reacting with cruelty or indifference toward those without influence reflects a deeper weakness, highlighting a lack of moral integrity and respect for humanity. In today's world, where hierarchies and social dynamics are everywhere, these moments of interaction carry great significance. Think of the shopper who berates a retail worker or the executive who dismisses their assistant. These behaviors are red flags, exposing values based on power rather than character. On the other hand, someone who treats everyone with kindness and fairness, no matter their status, embodies rare strength. Seneca's wisdom, "Kindness is invincible," reminds us that showing compassion without expecting anything in return is the ultimate marker of integrity and self-assurance. For both you and me, these observations serve as more than just a way to read others. They are a reflection of our own behavior. How do you treat people who can't help you? Do you take the time to value their humanity, or do you overlook them? Aligning our actions with our values allows us to grow into the person we strive to be. Treating everyone with respect, regardless of their position, is not only a sign of emotional maturity but also true freedom. It frees us from ego and the need for external validation, one of the Stoic secrets to a balanced, meaningful life. How we treat those who cannot benefit us speaks volumes about who we are. These small, unnoticed interactions demonstrate whether we live by our principles or are driven by fleeting rewards. When you meet someone who embodies this mindset, you're in the presence of someone grounded in true strength. And when you practice it yourself, you'll find deeper relationships, greater self-respect, and a life guided by integrity. True character isn't shown in grand gestures but in the quiet, everyday moments where we choose kindness simply because it's the right thing to do. And that brings us to the end of today's video, where we explored how the way people handle anger, speak about others, manage trust, treat those who are different, and react to success and failure reveals their true character. These moments of pressure and adversity are like windows into their inner selves, showing us who they really are when the masks come off. As we've discussed, character is not shaped in moments of comfort, but is revealed in how someone treats others and responds to life's challenges. This is where modern Stoicism offers us guidance, encouraging us to observe actions over words and focus on integrity, especially when no one is watching. Now, as you move forward, I challenge you to apply these Stoic secrets to your own life. Pay attention to the behaviors and reactions of those around you, and don't forget to reflect on your own. How do you respond to anger, adversity, or success? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your experiences and insights. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more timeless wisdom to guide your journey of personal growth and happiness. Thanks for watching, and remember, true character is revealed in action, not words. See you in the next video.